What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review for Ready to Love's Season 6, Episode 7. So, this is the Meet Their Friends episode, and I ain't crazy about it, but we're going to get into it. It's the ladies' elimination week, so Tommy meets with the women and said, hey, now's an opportunity for you to take your top, your top picks, let them meet your friends, see what your friends think, see how they feel about it, and then see how you feel, after they meet, and, kind of check in or whatever. So I'm just going to go through the dates and tell you what my impression was. This review probably ain't going to take that long, okay? So first we have Jamala and Randall. Now, I think that Jamala and Randall have really good chemistry. Now, Randall was Mr. Popular, okay? We found out that he moved here from DC and that he used to play basketball, and but him and Jamala seem like they have a really good connection. Her friend liked him a lot. I feel like, other than them hoochie daddy shorts he had on, I feel like it was a good meeting. He said all the right stuff, but it seemed very casual. It wasn't hard. It wasn't forced. He said that she's becoming one of his best friends, and but he does have romantic feelings for her. It's not like he's not friend zoning her, but he's like, listen, she's somebody that I'm attracted to, but I also feel like she's becoming a really good friend. And of course, for a lot of people, that's important. You got to be friends before you can be anything else. So that went really well. And then when he was getting ready to leave, child, they had themselves a nice little kissy kiss. So I said, okay, all right. Then we have Katie and we have Swayze with her friend Ching. I guess that's her name. Yeah, I didn't like this whole situation. Katie is a mean girl. Katie was purposefully, in my opinion, her and her friend were trying to set Swayze up and make him look bad. They were making a big deal about the fact that all he's dated in the last couple of years is Latino women. And they were like, so you don't like black women? So you don't want to date black women? And I was like, first of all, and he was offended. He was very upset. He was like, first of all, my daughter is a black woman. The mother of my daughter was a black woman. So I absolutely date black women. I love black women. And I'm offended that y'all are trying to turn this narrative like I don't like black women and I don't date black women. And that could be a very dangerous narrative to put out there, especially on a national television show where people can run away with that. And he actually ended up getting up and walking away. And then they were acting like, why is he doing that? Why is he, oh my gosh, he's doing too much. Oh my goodness. And I'm sitting here like, y'all act like he wrong for walking away from a situation that is not serving him. Katie was really like, you really gonna leave? I can't believe you really leaving. Yes, he's really leaving. Because he really tried, he answered y'all question 500 times. And it was like, yeah, it wasn't good enough. Well, how many black women have you dated? I mean, in the last 3 years. I mean, well, how long has it been since you've dated a black woman? Well, do you even like black? Like, it was just too much. And I 100% understand why he walked away. And I 100% understand why he was like, yeah, this isn't serving me. Yeah. Tranika, she had a group date down. They were down at the the little putt golf, little driving range. It didn't look like it was a top golf, but it looked like a top golf type situation. And it was her friends, and she invited LJ, Justice, and Randall. Now, Tranika, I'm gonna need you to narrow it down, girl. I ain't mad at you for dating. I ain't mad at you for going through the process. But now, after this, I'm gonna need you to figure it out. Now, LJ made a very, very good impression on her friends. He was the first one there. That might have had something to do with it. But I think they just had a different, they clicked better. Justice showed up being Justice, okay? Being very blunt, being very vague in his answers. He quoted Bible scripture. They asked him, have you ever been unfaithful? He was like, yeah. Yeah. But the reality is, like, I can appreciate him being honest about it, but they asked him other things, and he was just like, well, I mean, I just don't know if I believe in, that, and it was just very Justice, you know what I mean? Like, he was doing his Justice thing that he's been doing the whole time, and her friends absolutely did not like him. I mean, they were like, he's an ass, he's a jerk. I saw him from the word go, and at a certain point, Justice left. He was like, oh, this is a little. Because he was like, well, we got LJ, we got Randall. She don't really need me here. I'm going to go ahead and excuse myself from the situation. Boy, bye. Randall shows up, and yeah, I don't think there's really any big chemistry between Trinika and Randall. I think they like each other, but I do think her better connection is with LJ. Sharice and Samson. Now, they had a nice time. Samson said that he knows what he wants. He's ready to be married. That is where his focus is. That is where his eyes on that prize. He been single long enough, and he's ready. He's ready to settle down. He said he sees himself, being married within the year, and he would like for it to be Sharice. I said, now I think you're coming on a little strong, and I know some people might say, well, it's nothing wrong with a person who knows what they want. Absolutely, it's not. There's nothing wrong with a person who knows what they want. But in this case, as it relates to Samson and Sharice, I just feel like they're trying to put a circle in a square. They're trying to make something fit that ain't there. But maybe it's always conversations that are happening behind the scenes and meetups that are going on outside of what we see. But just based on what I see, I'm just like, But okay. We see Kayla went on a date with Mike and with Randall. And I do not like Mike's energy. I don't like the fact that Mike is still hung up on the fact that Kayla done kissed other men. That he was like, I just can't get past it. I just can't get past it. Sir, I'm sure that your lips have been on a couple of them women that you dating. I'm sure that you've had situations where you were dating more than one person at a time. Like, grow up. That's some real elementary school shit. Ooh, I just don't like the fact that she kissed another man. I don't want to think about the fact that she kissed another man. Grow up. You just mad that it wasn't you and you feel like you're not number one. But at the end of the day, Mike's connection really is with Brandy. And I just think that everybody else is just second anyway. But I just didn't like that energy. I thought that was real elementary school. I don't know. I just thought it was real Then we had Brandy with Samson and Mike. And Samson kind of, it was a nice date, but Samson absolutely felt like that the bigger connection was between Mike and Brandy. And he sort of took a step back, but he did it in a much gentler, kinder way than what Justice did. But he sort of took a step back and was like, yeah, the two of y'all kind of really got something going on here. The only friends that were absolutely adamant that they were like, I just don't like, was really Trinika's friends about Justice. Everybody else was kind of like, oh, well, Kayla's friend was like, I think you like Mike more than you like Justice, but I don't know if Randall, whoever, Samson, but I don't know if you're Mike's number one. Then we had Looney with LJ and Justice. Now, Looney actually has a pretty good connection with Justice. And they seemed like they were in a good space and they were having a good conversation. And Justice actually really seems to like Looney, which was interesting because, child, you like it, I love it, okay? So we get into the ladies' lounge and we're talking about, they're recapping the dates. And what's her name? Kadian was like, well, me and LJ, we sort of had like me and Swayze sort of had a situation, but I really don't want to speak on it in the lounge until I've had a chance to talk to him. And so Tommy was like, okay, well, you need to let us know what's going on. If we're going to eliminate somebody, we need to know why we're eliminating them or what the issue was. And so she wouldn't really say what it was. Girl, Sharice was like, well, I know. He called me. He was very upset. And he told me, that he was very offended and upset about what y'all, what the conversation. So she was like, well, since he going to bring it up, since it's going to be brought up, I guess I'll bring it up. And they proceeded to have the conversation about what happened with him as far as who he dates and him dating black women or whatever. And just like I said, some of the women in there heard part of what was said and was like, well, I don't know how I feel about that if he don't date black women. And that ain't even what was said. See what I'm saying? So that's why I understand why he got upset, because people are going to hear what they want to hear and they're going to twist it. But that ain't what was said. He never said he don't date black women. He just said that in the last couple of years, he has not dated black women. He ain't said that's exclusive. Why would he even be here if he don't want to date no? Well, I shouldn't say that because people get on the show for all sorts of reasons. But once again, we have this little kerfuffle between Katie and Sharice. And it looks like from the previews next week it's going to come to a crescendo next week. But anyway, so the people who were in the bottom were LJ and Justice. Justice because he Justice. LJ because he's sort of fallen into that friend zone. But ultimately, it was Justice's turn to go home, child. And I think that he got saved by the Zoe because he should have went home the week Zoe went home. But whatever. Next week is the men's elimination week, and we will see. Next week is the meet the exes week, which I think is even worse than meet the friends. There's no good reason for me to meet anybody's ex. I just don't need that in my life. But it's a TV show. It's all about drama, so we'll see how that goes next week. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.